Hello, you're very welcome to this video from Careers Portal. I'm going to talk through today using the MyFuture Plus career apps. All these career apps together, I suppose, will, like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, support the learner, the person in a particular service to understand in their own way where they're starting out from, their journey to date, where they would like to get to, and I suppose exploring the pathways and the different steps in their education, training, work experience, and employment journey as it relates to their career path. So you've linked up perhaps with a particular service and they've mentioned to you in relation to joining MyFuture Plus and using that to explore as your career toolbox to understand who you are and who you'd like to be. So what you can do is you have gone up, you've clicked join, and you have put your details in, and you've created a profile. So you're logging on to, I'm using Chrome as my browser. You could use everything from Safari to Edge. There's various different types of browsers that you might use, Mozilla Firefox and so on. You can log into CareersPortal.ie. You go up to the right hand corner here and you click login. I have added in browser tools to support in relation to accessibility. I have added in read aloud and I have added in text to speech if I might need them for accessibility and support. So I can add in my username and my password and I click login. So when I log in, I see the career apps. The career tools are going to help me to understand my journey of so far, where I'm at the moment, where I'd like to get to, and how I'd like to develop in my pathway. We have various other tools, I suppose, that a person might explore how they would get there, their journey and path in education, training, and getting experience and employment. And as well as that, adding in a practical step-by-step plan, a personal action plan that a person might develop to help them break a larger journey down or into smaller steps. As well as that, we have a career notepad that you can take note of, whether it's different type of jobs or different type of experiences like you would like to do. You have a career doc section. So the career documents that are important to either an application, personal statement, CV, it could be references, it could be key skill certs that you would add in and you might need in relation to job seeking, in relation to looking to apply for different types of things, whether it's education and training and so on. And we have a CV builder that you can build a CV from scratch. Or we have a work experience where you can do your actual kind of portfolio and seek work experience itself. So the area we're going to focus on today is multiple intelligences. Essentially, there's different types of intelligences that a person may have more confidence with, more kind of skills with, and so on. So these are ways that we interact with the world. So whether it is someone is more verbal, more logical, kind of mathematical, musical, body kinesthetic, movement and engaging with the world in a hands-on or tactile way, spatial awareness, interpersonal, between personal and intrapersonal, reflecting within oneself, a naturalist, working with the world and reflecting on the natural world itself and engaging with the natural world. So there's various different multiple intelligences, talents, if you will, things that feel more natural to a person when they're engaging with the world. When you click on the multiple intelligences career app, there is a description of all the intelligences, the talents, what you can do is, as I have added in, read aloud, I can highlight the text and I can have it read.
You may have heard of a person's IQ, a score that is supposed to tell you how intelligent a person is. Really brainy people would often show off that they had a high IQ, usually just annoying everyone else who didn't, which, oddly enough, is not very intelligent.
So what I can do is the text itself, if I need to, for time, for support needs and so on, I can highlight the text and I can have it read.
There are many different types of intelligence, and old-fashioned IQ tests and even modern aptitude tests miss out on important intelligences that we all may have. The modern theory of multiple intelligences also helps us understand how we learn best and why we are interested in some things more than others.
So part of multiple intelligences is understanding at this particular time, this is where I can express my particular way of engaging with the world. That may change over time. It may well be that verbal and linguistic is something that I have used in the past and that I'm very familiar with and it feels very comfortable and relevant to what I do. I may not be confident at using logic or maths, or indeed kind of music and so on. But different types of multiple intelligences and different types of talents, if you will, can be built up, I suppose, through learning, through education, through training, and through experience. But what we can do is we can go into the multiple intelligences questionnaire. In this particular section here, I can see the individual intelligences themselves. I can view a closed caption video on them. As well as that, I can reflect on the results that I get, and I can view and print my overall results and my overall report based on the questionnaire that I do and the reflections and so on. So I can view all of them as it all comes together. So at the start, what I can do is I can click into the questionnaire. I'm presented with a set of 48 questions and statements that will link towards my multiple intelligences and understanding how they link towards me. So the first one there, question 1, I often find myself humming silently to myself. It may well be that I agree and say, yeah, that sounds like me. Or it may be that it's like, no, that doesn't sound like me at all. So I could strongly disagree with that. Neutral, it's like, sometimes it's me, sometimes it isn't. Or if that's something that I do a lot, or that sounds a lot like me, well, then I can strongly agree. So when I click on these, I click next question, it moves through the actual questions and statements, and I can take the time to understand these and get a better understanding of which type of multiple intelligences across the 48 statements. Each of these statements will build towards an overall understanding of the type of intelligence areas where I may be strong at the moment based on my reflection. And as well as that, areas that I might develop. Because as I mentioned earlier, it may well be that through education and training, building experience, building confidence, building awareness, a person can grow their particular capacity, their comprehension, their understanding, and their confidence in using particular types of intelligences. So at the end of the actual assessment, what I get is an overall view of, based on my answers, where I rate myself in relation to intelligences. And as I mentioned, this can change with kind of self-concept as it develops through education and training and experience. If I'm unsure in relation to what, for example, linguistic and verbal means, I can click into it and I can view the actual intelligence itself. And I can go on down through them and what musical rhythmic intelligence means and so on. Each of the videos is closed captioned as well. So if there's language, if there's comprehension support needs, so on, I can view them in that way as needed. But moving on from this, I can not just get a sense of where I'm at the moment. What I can do is I can begin to reflect in a deeper way where this fits in. So whether that is,
this is the ability to perceive and make distinctions in the moods, intentions, motivations, feelings, and points of view of other people. It is the ability to understand and empathize with others.
so where this sits, I suppose, in terms of my understanding is based on my talents at the moment. This may be something that I would look to build on, like a foundation that I would like to build on in my experience in developing towards my education or training, but also as well as that, it may be something that would match towards a particular career type of how I would express my multiple intelligences or my kind of talents or things that feel natural to me and how I interact with the world in a career or a job type. So along all the different types of ones, and I suppose as well as that, there's acknowledged famous people who would be well known for that particular type of intelligences. So what I can do above and beyond kind of reflecting on what the intelligences are and how they relate to me, I can add in a personal reflection. So I can reflect on my top 3 intelligences. If they're kinesthetic, intrapersonal, interpersonal. So I can begin to reflect on these top 3. But what I can also do is I can reflect on where I feel these particular intelligences might be expressed in types of careers, types of jobs, and types of education, training, and development pathways that will match to build on talents that I have. Or it may well be that I've become aware of my particular kind of talents as they relate to my overall report. And I can look at a wider range of skills in areas that I might like to develop further. That currently, it may well be that my linguistic ability, whether that's expression through language, whether that is coding and so on, it may well be that these are particular skills I would like to build up. And then I can retake a particular assessment. And as I can see over time, my multiple intelligences and my reflection on that will change. Whether it's my confidence with my spatial awareness, my confidence with my overall kind of ability as it's kind of built up through education, training, and experience opportunities. As well as that, what I can do is I can view my overall report in relation to the details I get in relation to my multiple intelligences, the overall summary, and indeed my reflections on them as well. Where this becomes relevant, I suppose, is when a person is looking for types of work through the Explorer of the over 1,000 occupations that we have in the Careers Explorer, as well as that through the types of training and education that a person might do towards a particular type of career. Into a person's profile, in their career profile, if a person is unsure in relation to using the different career apps within MyFuture Plus, there is a quick guide in your resources that you can click on and you can look through in order to support you as you're doing the actual kind of career apps themselves. Thank you very much for looking at this video, and I wish you the very best of luck in your career journey. If you've any further questions, you're more than welcome to contact us. You're welcome to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I wish you the very best of luck in your career journey.